Hello?
Hello.
Are we live?
Yo.
We're live.
Are we live?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I gotta say thank you to Bovar for subscribing. Thank you to Raw Magus for subscribing. Thank you to Smile Buddies for subscribing. Thank you to the Mickey D for subscribing. Got that out of the way.
All those people subscribed right now?
Before. Thank you for the bits, Alex.
Oh, holy shit, 5K Ernie bucks is a treat.
Yeah. Check out the casino. Put in promo treat for 5K Ernie bucks. Thank you for the bits, Rum. Pink event is still going on, I believe, so check out Pink if you're pink.
Pink event is so funny.
What is Pink event? I don't even know, because...
Oh, so if you're a server booster, there's like an option to give you a role, so we decided to make a channel that it adds you to, like if you're a server booster, and we did like some... It's just a dumb event. It like means nothing, so no one get like hyped out that they need the server booster or anything, but it's pretty funny.
It's very good.
Oh, I'm missing out.
Pico might be leaking Pink Boy events, but that's fine. Check out Pink.
Yeah, I'm getting
get boosted.
Someone buy a band for me in the server.
Someone spend the Ernie bucks to ban Pico from Pink event.
So how's everyone doing today?
My dogs have fleas. It's an
That
absolute
sucks.
nightmare.
That's the worst.
I'm washing them, brushing them, cleaning the house, washing them,
Non-stop.
brushing them,
Yeah.
cleaning the house. And I don't have a lot of carpets. It's all wood floors, so
Oh.
all night my dogs are scratching, and their nails are tapping the wood floors. And
I mean, it is better than fleas getting in the carpets, though.
yes, I think I'll be able to eradicate them easier.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like the heartbeat under the floors at night. That Edgar Eller post.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's your dog
Rap,
scratching.
rapping. Scratching.
For real.
On my hardwood floor. Alright, so... You're playing Dead Rising.
I am.
You mentioned it's your favorite game. Is that true, or
This
you
is
just...
this is my favorite game of all time.
I really... I never really got to play it because I didn't have an Xbox, but I got to like play the demo on my brother's Xbox, and I was all about the demo. It was so much fun. I remember it was one of those demos I could play like 3 or 4 times in a row.
It's just dumb, and it's so fun. My favorite psychopath in this one, it's hard to not say Adam the Clown because of his mini chainsaws, but I am gonna say Adam.
But I did end up getting like Dead Rising 2 for PS3, and I didn't have as much fun because like part of the fun of part of the appeal on Dead Rising 1 was just like the atmosphere and like the setting in the mall seemed so cool, and it was I can't even remember the setting for Dead Rising 2.
It's in like Vegas, and
yeah,
but it's basically like a huge ass mall that you're kind of stuck in. And yeah, it's a fun series. None of them beat the first one in my opinion, but check them out. And someone do a vinyl of it.
Oh, the comics. This is how you normally play?
What do you mean?
Without clothes and...
Oh yeah, you gotta constantly be changing your clothes. Gone Guru is such a good track. DJ Kid. I love that one. But yeah. So someone needs to do the soundtrack for this, and I'll love them forever.
You heard it here. #1 Dead Rising podcast.
Number 1.
So
this is like a vamp or a zombie game?
Yes. I'm skipping all the cutscenes, and the zombies are finally in the mall because an old woman wanted her dog in that got stuck outside.
What's your favorite zombie game, Pico?
My favorite zombie game... I gotta go Resident Evil 2, a classic. But I really like Left 4 Dead.
Oh, Left 4 Dead's great.
I'm a sucker for co-op. Like, I think Resident Evil 5 is really good.
It's fun. Like, people say it's
The
not a
co-op's
great
awesome.
Resident Evil game, but it's a fun game.
Sheva is awesome. Chris is awesome. Their call-outs are hilarious. Sheva! Chris! Halt. Halt. Stop.
And like he much appreciated was the one that I always remembered him in that one. Just sounding weird.
Yeah, love me some good old Resident Evil.
Yeah. So we got a couple things on our docket this week, don't we?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we could start off. This might be a nice one to start off with. In keeping in line with Spooky Month and everything. I was thinking, does anyone have any just like absolute horrible vinyl horror stories or just like awful things? I'd love to be able to hear from people in the chat just like bad things that have happened to their records, and like in this community where a lot of these records are priceless and maybe irreplaceable. That's
right.
Gotta hit even harder.
That low number becomes like, instead of 300, it's 299 now.
Yep. Well, everyone's got a cube in their
John
Zelda.
Beyond the Yellow Brick Road that I got from a thrift store, and then left it in my car and got high, smoked a blunt with someone, and it melted.
Oh, no.
Now I'm so fucking paranoid of my records in cars.
I bet.
I leave my packages at my mom's that lives like an hour away, and when she brings them to me, I'm always like, leave your fucking windows open! Don't you dare leave them in your car for more than a minute! Like, please don't do this to me!
Yeah, and it's always worrisome when you handle the box, like the shipping mailer, and it's just very hot as well. And it's just like, oh no, what am I going to be opening? Is this going to be a disaster?
I've had the last big releases just left on my porch at my house now, and right in the sun. With like, and you look at it, and the sticker says like, "Don't leave in heat," and like,
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Who knows how long they've been there? And I'm so paranoid. And I ripped open Majora's Mask, like, shit, please don't be like melted.
See, with my Majora's, there was such a big hole in it that I was like, oh my god,
What do you
I could
mean?
see,
Like,
I could
in the
see
box itself?
into the box with how bad it was hit and shipping.
I mean, more so than anything, I feel like it was shipped amazingly. And
Yes.
I actually heard from multiple people that they felt that it shipped that good.
Like, nothing was damaged, but it was just like, oh my god. Of all the things to have an actual hole, I can see already into it without opening. So,
Yeah, because Majora's Mask and Wind Waker are such good releases. Now we're talking about like we're comparing the shipping boxes.
K3. I had a mail carrier who wasn't our regular person leave my records in the Florida sun on the sidewalk several times. I usually catch it quickly. That sounds
yeah, that's
scary.
feeling. This guy knows the feeling.
I know concerning mailing, like I used to live this. This was back when I was only like casually buying, video game vinyl records. It was like when data discs was first starting getting into things, and it was just like I lived at a place. It was this warehouse loft that was right behind a business as a screen printing business, and the screen printing business wasn't open on Saturdays. Usually, they when mail came, they would come in and actually leave the mail with an employee, and then I'd just go pick it up from their office whenever I was available to. But on Saturdays, no, they would just drop it in the middle of like a commercial sidewalk, kind of out in the open, and so I couldn't really get informed delivery for that address, so I had to like just wait and hope for the best a lot of those times on Saturdays when I got mail. So I eventually, that was the reason that prompted me getting a post office box. And
I see.
Yeah, it's been pretty nice since.
Yeah.
But as far as actual damage to the records, I mentioned it a while ago. I don't know if I ever got it on told the Discord or the chat or anything like that. But I let my nephew handle. I was trying to show him vinyl records and wanted to get him something. He's a big Zelda fan, so I was like, let me play some Zelda music for you. It was Ocarina of Time Volume 1, and he flipped. I was telling him, like showing him how to like change the record sides and stuff, and like what to do with the record player, and he was flipping the vinyl, and it slipped out of his fingers and like hit the side of the turntable and fell on the floor, and huge gashes through that entire thing. And it was basically the first 10 minutes of the album on the B-side. It was just like screwed. But I made a post about it and was able to, I was able to find someone who's very generous and sold one to me at cost, and it was quite a delight. And yeah, really,
that's great.
Really nice experience for something that was just like a freak accident that like I thought I was doing something nice, and I still think it was a good thing to do, but next time I would be much more careful about it.
That reminded me of, I used to play my records without the dust cover on it, and I have 3 cats, and one of my cats is like, this is where I want to be while you're playing a record, and jumped right up onto it was playing the 2LP of Valhalla. I was like, come on, of all this stuff.
Just
it was mostly okay, but it was just like fuck. And now the dust cover's always down.
Yeah, cats don't always have their claws like they have them retracted most of the time.
Most of the time.
I once had a date try to record scratch my record.
No.
We did not see each other again.
And that was that.
They just didn't realize that like that's not a thing you really do.
Yes. I mean, they were pretty airheaded.
Uh-huh.
I was into them for other reasons. But not that reason. That was enough reason to be like, bye-bye.
This isn't gonna work.
We were both very high in their defense.
Oh. Wait, what's Twilight say up here? I told myself I was going to clip my nails at the beginning of the day, and then I just didn't do it for some reason. I was washing a record later that afternoon. Flipped a record after washing the first side of it, fumbled it a bit, and scratched half of the B side trying to catch it. First and only time I've done that.
Oh my god.
That's brutal.
That is brutal. And you're like, I'm cleaning this, I'm making it better. And then you end up with a big old scratch.
I tell you, sometimes I like. Here is a good reason to have those Mofi or those
the
like
rice paper sleeves.
Yeah, or the invest in vinyl sleeves.
Not just quality.
Yeah, because they have that printed text on it that kind of indicates what is the upside of it. Because I have had like the paper sleeves with the plastic inners. Like sometimes it is hard to tell where the opening is, and so when you grab it, it might the opening might not be might be on the underside of where you grabbed it, and so it starts to fall out and can be very dangerous if you're not thinking properly.
Yeah.
God, it's stressful. So.
Oh, jeez. Long while ago, I dropped a record behind the furniture where the turntable sits while flipping it. Multiple big gashes through it. Thankfully, it was only Contra NES.
Oh
but
my
still.
God.
Oh.
I mean, you handle enough records, and you're bound to have accidents. That's just the
Absolutely.
statistical fact.
I feel like we've all dropped a record at one point and just like, fuck.
Totally, you drop it right on the edge and it just bounces straight
Yeah.
back up.
You're like, damn.
And then you're trying to catch it and you're like, oh shit, this is way worse.
I'm making it worse, yeah. Oh,
We want to bring in someone to talk about any
absolutely.
record mishaps. I haven't heard from Ben in a while. I'm gonna bring Ben
Bring
in.
old Ben in. Hey Ben. We've been waiting for you.
Hello, how's it going?
Hi, very enthusiastic welcome or greeting. Yeah, it's going well.
What's
How
up?
are you?
What's the scoop?
Doing well. What's the scoop? What's the question?
You asked.
Are we still talking about horror stories?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, I got a
what do you
question
got?
for you.
And now you got
All right.
another one.
Yeah, okay. Who is your favorite, like, serial killer? Like, real serial killer.
I mean,
I'm
I
judging
watched
you
that
too,
Jeffrey
by the way.
Dahmer documentary. Now he's on my mind. That's like a very normie answer, though.
Dahmer.
I did just watch.
It's always Dahmer, Bundy.
Yep.
What
I
about
did
that one
watch
crazy ass dude?
it
I like
yesterday, and so Gacy's on the mind, of course.
Oh
Gacy.
God, I hate Gacy. Gives me the.
That house is over here in Illinois, and people, it's like probably 20 minutes from here, and we all used to ding dong ditch it
Oh,
when we got our
jeez.
licenses. We used to go to the old Gacy house and ding dong ditch it.
Gacy wigs me out like no other. I think.
Yeah,
I think just the Midwest just bred the craziest people, because like Ed Gein is from whatever, Wisconsin or something, and every horror movie is based on him. Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like Psycho, like he was just like the combination man.
My girlfriend's very into serial killers and crime, so I'm sure she'd have a better answer than I would.
At a thrift store, I got a serial killer's baseball cards.
What?
Like
What?
they were like vintage from like the 70s or something like that.
Topps trading cards.
They weren't tops. They were definitely off-brand, but it was like each serial killer and then what they did on the back, and like there wasn't stats because that would be absolutely ridiculous.
That would
But I
be
used to just, like,
hilarious.
look 'em up. I had like a Molly Hatchet one, but it was really funny.
That's
People
awesome.
are fucking sick, man. And people obsess
Yeah.
over serial killers.
They sure
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, I'm not a big
Damn, that
fan
dude killed
of,
50 people. I'm gonna date him and write him a letter in jail.
Rank 3.
Uh,
I'm gonna send
Or-
him money and buy him a house.
or yeah, like in Charles Manson's case, like he killed so many people, but like people, I remember in high school, like the fucking edgy kids being like, "Well, he makes good music." It's like, fuck you. Why are you listening to his music?
Yeah. What the fuck are
I
you
mean,
talking
he-
about?
He literally like brainwashed Dennis Wilson, and like they were living in his house. They were like spending his money. He was in like so deep, Dennis Wilson.
Hmm.
That is so sad because he's like the best Beach Boy.
Yeah.
Denny.
Hot Topic sold a calendar with serial killers in 2007 that had stats on it. Oh my god.
I heard about
So
that.
many edgy
And they
teenagers
it
bought
had
that
to get
probably.
told like almost immediately.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus. So anyway, do you have any vinyl horror stories?
Two come to mind. Neither which are like I didn't have anything like break in transit or anything. Look, I think. First recent one was a Chinese import record. I don't know why they did this, but I got a package that was like really lumpy.
Oh.
I was like,
Okay.
what did Superbuy do? And apparently what they did is, so it came to them in like bubble wrap sleeve, and then it had corner protectors.
Mhm.
They put the bubble wrap, and then they put the record above the sleeve, and then they put the corner things on top of the record, and threw it in a new box.
Okay.
I don't know how it didn't like just shatter. My other just like a long time story. So I like put together my Breath of the Wild set in a weird way. And at this point, I have 2.5 like not good copies of Memories because the last one was supposed to be good, got warped in the mail, and that warp is really affecting the playback. So my god, it's a cursed release for me.
Apparently, oh my god.
I think those are my 2 like worst things. Though I don't have anything super crazy bad yet.
Having a cursed release is like horrifying, especially when you're like, yes, I finally found it, and then it's like, what the fuck? And then you try it again, and it's like, what the fuck? And I feel like I hear that from like more people than it should, and it's like it's no one's fault, but what the hell?
Yeah.
You never had any like handling mistakes on records and like throwing it across the room or something like that? That was another thing I did. I was moving not to this. I was moving in about 2019. Yeah, and I was bringing my records, and it was just like when I moved the records, it was like the last thing I moved from my old place, and so I was a little bit more careless with like the last batch of records, and thankfully it was like a 1969 Nonesuch record. Okay. It was just like, it was called Computer Music, and it's a great album, but it's a pretty. I bought it for like $8.
Yeah.
But I just had it. It was my last record, and the box was already full, so I just put it on top of the box. And I brought it in, and like I stumbled as I was turning from the car, and like I just saw the record fling out of the jacket in slow motion, and it was just like even though it was an easy to find $8 record, it was still like, oh no.
Yeah. You don't want to see it. You hate to see it. Even.
Yeah.
Had a couple like low level drops. Nothing ever broke. The scariest was like I didn't secure these little wall display things well enough the first go around. So over like the course of a week, at night or random points during the day, I just hear a splat as the record just falls flat forward onto the floor from the wall.
Oh no.
Nothing broke, I think.
But that's still gotta make your heart race.
I was terrified.
Mm-hmm.
I had like Guilty Gear Memorial record and a couple other of like my personal big ones up, and I was like, man, if something had happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why do we do this? Just to suffer.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know if I have the heart to like put any records on display just for that reason. Like if they just fall over like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the other things I had happen was like one of the very first boots I bought had an extremely large like box cutter gash through it, and I'm very fortunate that whoever shipped that had the records inside of the jacket, because now there's also a big gash on the jacket.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, and that was the very first thing I did. I'm like, this doesn't happen all the time, right? And it did not. But it was just like, oh my god. Especially when you're paying those secondhand prices.
Yeah. I remember seeing a post on Facebook about like someone basically warning like, don't open your records with a box cutter because they accidentally gashed their record.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I have a huge gash across the cover of my Zelda SSR.
Oh.
But I think it came like that. I definitely did not use a box cutter. I've seen someone go all the way into their vinyl though. Didn't someone post on the main where like they're like, how does a vinyl like crack like this? And we're like, that's like a gash.
that doesn't happen that much.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's definitely not a crack. You literally cut into that.
We want to go ahead. We might bring you back on, Bed, for a later segment, but I'm going to see if anyone else in the waiting room wants
go for it. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, Ben.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay. I haven't heard from... I don't think Bo's been on the podcast before.
Well, Bo's about to be on the podcast.
Bring him in.
Oh, boo! I'm scared.
Lou, you can unmute.
What's up, fellas? How's it going?
Hi.
Hello, hello.
Going well? How are you doing?
Started out by waiting for you guys to unmute me, only realizing I had muted myself.
It happens every time. It won't
Yeah.
be the first nor the last.
No, I don't think we have the power to unmute.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Oh, okay.
I think the waiting room mutes you, but you can unmute yourself in there.
Mhm.
It's like push to
far
talk in
out.
there, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now we know.
Well, thank you so much for having me on.
Absolutely.
What do you guys want to talk about?
Do you have any horror-themed questions, Pico? Another.
Yeah, well, let's do with what's your favorite serial killer?
Okay, I believe we touched on this. It's got to be John Wayne Gacy because clowns are inherently scary things that people should never ever want to interact with. Okay? If you didn't learn your lesson
for
from
this.
John Wayne Gacy, you certainly learned it from fucking Tim Curry. Pardon
Yeah.
my language. This is a 18 plus.
Yeah, go ahead
Chat,
and say
right.
fuck.
He was a scary looking clown too, Gacy. Jesus.
Like, whoever thought, oh yeah, I want this overweight white guy coming to my child's party, playing with all the kids. Like, how did that ever occur to adults back then?
That's just what
I
clowns were
don't-
like.
A lot of
Yeah,
people around here's like parents have like stories about him or like weird situations.
Oh,
I
that's
don't-
weird. That's fucked.
I don't.
And it's
think
not like he
people
was
had
like some
creepy-
super attractive dude. Like,
No.
wasn't Jeffrey Dahmer supposed to be really attractive? And that's how he kind of.
No, that
Got
was
people.
Bundy was.
Oh yeah, that's
hot
right.
one.
But they all had
He's
an
the
angle,
hot
right?
one.
If clowning around is your angle, what the hell are you doing?
Clowning around.
No, yeah, he was a scary looking fucking clown. Like the pictures of him as a clown, like that would give me fucking nightmares if I was a kid. And if I was the parents who like paid that, I would want my money back. I was like, bruh, you're making no one laugh right now.
Right. You murdered my child, so I'm gonna need that deposit back.
Oh my god.
We're not cool.
Yeah, I just like I think in like in the '60s when he was doing his like clowning, like I don't think the culture was actually creeped out about clowns around them, and like that is just like a whole different world.
That whole
live in
era
to
is just
me.
like badly painted clowns that did not
Yeah.
age well. They just look scary.
They just didn't have the radar on, man. I don't know what to say. Like, there's no way my mom could have shown me a clown like that, and I would have stuck around. I'd been out.
Mhm.
Like if the clown was baskets, I'm in.
Ah, that's fair. Well, to your point earlier, I think you guys were talking about Ed Gein, and that is actually really fascinating that he's kind of kicked off that horror movie genre.
Yes,
you know,
so many
Texas
different
Chainsaw
movies.
Massacre, Psycho. Because growing up with the internet, one of my favorite things to do is just kind of read into like some of my favorite movies. And I could have sworn I read that like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre
Yeah, from
never
Wisconsin.
actually happened.
I blame you, Wisconsin.
The fuck.
That shit never actually happened. Like whoever wrote it or the director just happened by a store that sold chainsaws and thought, man, wouldn't that be freaking crazy if this occurred, and it just kind of went from there. But when you have
Okay,
a
I
real life
shit you
serial
not.
killer,
I'm googling Ed Gein right now, and I stumbled onto a Wikipedia page that is titled "Ed Gein, the Musical."
No.
hell yeah.
It's a comedic musical film about the grave-robbing serial killer Ed Gein. It premiered in Wisconsin, of course, January 2010.
Good
Oh, that's
The
lord.
fuck?
fantastic. We need to add Cannibal the musical to movie night. It's like some
I mean,
early Trey
arguably one of the
Parker
best
stuff.
musicals. I have that on vinyl.
Oh, hell yeah.
Soundtrack for Cannibal the Musical.
Yeah, he went by like Juan Schwartz for all of his crediting.
Jeez.
Didn't want to have
I
to
love
put
everything.
Trey Parker
Like, Team
everywhere.
America comes on vinyl. I'm buying that in a second. Orgasmo. To have the Orgasmo theme song on vinyl. I would fucking die to have DVD on vinyl.
Oh man,
You
I
will.
forgot about that movie.
It's like the best fake band name. Just everything about it is fucking gold.
Wasn't Andy Dick the antagonist in that movie?
It was Ron Jeremy. He was
Oh
neutered,
God,
man, or something
yeah.
like that.
Oh man. It helps that we both
I
grew
love
up in
that
the
movie.
90s and
Fucking
have
love
these
that
kind of...
movie.
Did you ever watch enjoy Basketball? We're kind of getting off topic of Halloween stuff.
It happens.
There's a song in Basketball too, like when he's singing on the radio and it's about his life.
Yeah.
I'd like to have that on vinyl too.
Oh yeah, the montage thing.
And your
Oh,
life
yeah.
fucking sucks and everybody hates you.
My buddy, one of my best friends from, like, I'm 34 now. My best friend, I've known him since I was about 5, and we still use the line, "God damn it, if you rip on me 13 or 14 more times, I'm out of here." Like, just love it, man. Classic.
Well, they
90s
made him
cinema.
sleep in a drawer.
Wake
here,
up,
little
bitch, you're
bitch.
my new best friend.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
That's-
do you have any vinyl horror stories you want to share with us?
Well, I did drop my Minecraft alpha after, like, finally getting a hold of it once everybody had already gotten crazy with it. A couple of resupplies happened. So that kind of sucked because, of course, it's in the most quiet part of the side
Oh
B.
no.
But there's actually a horror story that did not come to pass. Right when I started getting into vinyl, courtesy of a couple of my friends here, I was unaware of, like, certain things. Like, people like to keep that cling wrap on, or the shrink wrap rather.
Mm-hmm.
And I took my buddy's vinyl. Like, he said it was his prize. I think it was like an original pressing of Dookie, and it was still in the shrink wrap. But they had actually kind of like slid it down the side. I very nearly just ripped that whole thing off. I was like, here, let me just take that out
Open
for you,
this for
buddy.
you.
Fortunately, I took an extra second to notice that several other of his records were like that. I was like, I
Yeah.
bet this is intentional.
There's something
So
going
that would have
on
been
here.
unforgivable.
Yeah.
Like the whole hype stickers, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Like, that was new to me, so I didn't know.
And
But I
you
would have
never
not been
know.
able to forgive myself.
God, I'm reading all these Orgasmo fucking jokes in the chat right now, and I am cracking up.
Oh yeah, now you're a man. Do you guys own any horror movie soundtracks on vinyl?
It's not
I
not a
don't.
horror. It's a Halloween movie soundtrack. I own Mad Monster Party.
There you
Who
go.
And
did
it
that,
is.
like, all the Halloweens and then they sold a box for it? Oh. Was that Mondo?
That feels like Mondo.
That sounds
Sounds like
Mondo.
a Mondo. Definitely sounds like a Mondo.
So, one time, this is a funny story about horror music. We saw John Carpenter's in concert.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, me and Mouse went to see John Carpenter. It was like an after show for Pitchfork. And they were playing the Halloween
yeah.
theme song, and Mouse had bought his vinyl, and he was holding it like, I don't know, like you'd hold like a book, like a school kid, like against his chest or whatever. And this girl, rolling balls, came up to him and started grinding on him during the Halloween theme song. In his face, he looked like he was gonna cry. He's like, my vinyl. We laugh constantly of like, how do you grind to the Halloween theme song?
You find a way.
I mean, when you're on
you're
drugs,
a first-hand witness. How
You
you do
tell
it.
us.
drugs are hell of a
Mystery
drug,
still
man.
to this day. I'll never know until we recreate that night, that brisk Pitchfork night.
I don't know. I've been really enjoying the movie night this past weekend. I hadn't seen the Blair Witch Project since that was probably in theaters. That stirred up
yeah.
all sorts of
Oh,
crazy
dude.
memories.
Yeah.
The original scary VHS.
Yeah, well, don't they say like fuck, I mentioned it earlier in the chat. Cannibal Holocaust. Wasn't that supposed to be like a found footage sort of style?
They
Yeah,
believe
you know,
so.
now you're right. That movie was fucked up.
I haven't seen it, but one of my friends who's big into that kind of stuff said, "Oh yeah, dude, you gotta check it out. Like, that's the OG."
I mean, just in the sense of like, I guess like nowadays, like pretty desensitized to that stuff. But in the time that it came out, I could see that really offending people.
Yeah.
Like now, like I don't know, you go into like a weird horror manga hole, and you literally are traumatized for life. And nothing that you see
Yeah.
can even compare.
I don't know. For me, I've never been into just like grotesque horror for just mutilation. Like I never really got into Hostel and those kind of movies because it's really just how many special effects can we throw in for people getting mutilated in an hour and a half's time. That's kind of less interesting to me.
I think the trauma stuff is fun though, like Toxic Avenger, where it's so like unrealistic, over the top, like gruesome, that it's just it's kind of a joy to look at.
That's fair. That's probably fine. Like over the top like that can be a lot of fun, but Hostel and some of those were really meant to make you squirm.
You guys remember Cabin Fever? That was a terrible one.
Oh yeah, I think this is obviously my personal take, but one of the finest horror movies ever written has to be John Carpenter's The Thing. The suspense,
It's really nice, yeah.
the ending, and of course I'm not going to spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen it, but I think it has one of the best endings to any horror movie that came out of that era. And you got Kurt Russell. What's not to like?
It is kind of peak of what it wanted to be, and it did it so well.
Did they remake that recently?
I don't think so. I don't know, maybe.
I've lost track because they remade a lot of those, like Evil Dead. They remade that, but I didn't bother watching it just because it looked like it was going to be more of that same super uncomfortable. Like I think that one chick looks super scary and then like licks that knife to split her tongue. I was like, nope, not for me.
Well, yeah, thanks for coming on, Bo. I think since we're talking horror soundtracks and like Halloween stuff, we might want to bring on Cody, because we got some announcements to make. So
sure. Well, thanks so much for having me on, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Thanks for coming on.
Pleasure talking. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Please come back.
Thank you.
Yeah, like I said, Cody decided to make an announcement, or I guess we all decided as a group to have the tape Halloween, what is it, a contest?
The VGM Halloween mixtape. For anyone who somehow might not know, the VGM Vinyl for All Discord had entries for songs that they'd like to see on a mixtape that Cody's putting together, and there was a voting done, and we are going to have the results for the top 10 here shortly.
Yeah, so let me bring Cody in the room, and we can go ahead and get that started.
Oh.
Hello.
Big Cody.
Hello. How's it going?
All right.
It's going well. How are you?
Good. I'm good. I've got the results here. I'm excited to share. Thanks for. Actually, Atrix had mentioned it, so I was like, yeah, that sounds awesome. Let's do it.
Yeah. Well, Alex was like, we should do this, and I was like, we should do this. Let's do it.
Sounds fun. Cool.
Before we do this, you want to answer Pico's serial killer question, and maybe any stories you have about any bad experiences with vinyl, any horror things?
Could I hear the serial killer question again? It's a little fuzzy in my head.
Favorite serial killer, basically.
Yeah.
Who's top tier?
Top tier. You want to know what I think was probably the most and I don't know who it was, but like the serial killer who like chilled me to the bone was like, I don't remember his name, but he's this guy who lives in Japan. They made a Vice documentary for him. It was like back when like Vice wasn't like, I mean, it probably was still like that big website that it is now, but like it was just like when they were starting to get into YouTube videos and they were making that stuff, and like the content they were putting out was like really striking, and it was just this interview with this guy who was a cannibal, and he talked about like, oh my god, it was unsettling, and that's my answer for, I guess, my
That
favorite
guy.
serial killer.
I
That
just
dude.
found him. There's only been one literally serial killer in all of Japan, the Otaku murderer, and he was a serial killer, cannibal, child rapist, necrophile who
Jeez.
abducted and murdered 4 girls
I'm
from
sorry.
1988 to 89.
That must have been that guy, or I think it's that guy, because they
Oh
interviewed.
gosh.
If he's the only one,
He's
Yeah.
the only one. They found him.
he's not my favorite.
Number 1 Japanese serial killer podcast, baby.
He's your favorite, really?
No.
Oh man.
Oh no.
He has
He's
a lot of
oh.
interesting names.
But they like
Batman.
interviewed this guy, and it was
I
fucking
know.
scary. Anyway.
Anyways,
So-
everyone's on the edge of their seat. They're like, "What songs made it into the mixtape?" And we're like, "Did you hear about this guy in Japan?
You ever heard
like
about this
20,
really fucked up
30
things?
years ago?"
He had a lot of anime, and that's why they call him the Otaku murderer.
Oh.
The Otaku murderer. Because he had
Wow.
a large collection of hentai and horror videotapes.
Holy shit. Well, I didn't know all that, but
I just remembered a serial killer that chilled
He
me to the
executed
bone.
him, holy shit. By hanging. Wow, that is
Wow.
that is
no,
mid-century.
this guy.
They might not have interviewed
You know
him.
what? It's not the same guy, because this guy is like still alive, and he like. I don't want to say he didn't get away with it, but he definitely. Like,
He didn't get hanged. They didn't
No,
hang him.
he didn't.
At least not by that point, when Cody was watching that
Thank you,
video.
Joey. They're not the same.
Yeah, it's still in 2008.
there's a
Holy shit,
commercial?
that's like pretty current to hang somebody.
Thank you, Papa John's and Arby's.
Papa John's,
And,
supporter of the #1 serial killer.
And thank you to HelloFresh. Sign up HelloFresh. Use code VideoGame4all, and nothing will happen. It will say invalid coupon code, and then you will be signed up for food. So
Remember,
check that
is
out.
Hello.
HelloFresh.
It's HelloFresh,
That's
not
right.
Hello Flesh. It's not a Halloween themed meal delivery service.
Yes, whoever's saying they're gonna watch the new Hellraiser tonight, my guy.
Anyways.
Scary vinyl story I got. I went to see a band once, and this was very, very early, like before I was like formally collecting records, I guess, and more so just like grabbing them because I was like, oh, this is like a cool thing to,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
to like come. And it was a band that I had. I don't know. They hadn't put out anything in like a very long time, and I had like discovered them right before they put out a new album, and I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. So I was like, I have to get this record, and they were like standing around, and I was like contemplating like maybe I could get them to sign it because they're really like important to me or whatever. And I remember like, somebody came up to me and was like, hey, what's up? And I was like, and then I dropped the fucking record and just like bent the corner, and I still have it, and it's just like this horrible monument to like
Oh my god.
A
not
constant
being
reminder.
like getting too like starstruck.
Yeah. Did you get it signed?
No.
Oh no.
But I did get something signed from them later.
Okay.
Later in life. So.
And then you were like, man, I fucked up at your
I
last
did. I was
concert.
like, this is the last time I'm ever fucking up like this again. So,
Can you sign this bent record?
but I do, yeah. I mean, the record's fine. It's just the corner.
Okay.
Yeah. Thankfully, nothing terrible. Oh my god, I'm sorry, Jesse.
I did that right in
Jesse,
front of
yeah.
my favorite band the first time I ever met them.
Jeez.
That's rough. That's a horror story in itself.
I've got plenty of horror stories of just embarrassment in front of my favorite band, and that's for another day.
Oh, Joey
But
posted
yeah.
in stream chat. That's that dude. That cannibal. Sorry to go back to him.
And we're back. Thank you, Papa John's.
All I see are Simpsons shoes in stream chat. Maybe Oh, there we go. Oh man.
Well,
But we've got a top 10 to announce, right?
yes, we've got a top 10.
We've got the results. They are in.
They are in. I have a few things I want to put, just to preface, I guess, before I get into them. So, first thing, this one isn't even. Well, okay, I'll go from like important to least important.
I do have one question, but we'll get to that.
Oh, sure. So the first thing is, regardless of anything I say here, these are like the candidates who will be on the physical incarnation of the mixtape, 100% for sure. And just because if your song's not on here, that doesn't mean that it won't be on here. I'm just going to try and prioritize what makes the most logistical sense from the timing and also, just to try and get as many as I can. So there's just that time limit. Now, there will be a longer mix of the mixtape that I will post shortly after I get everything all ready as well. So that will be available to download, which should include every song that we had for this too. So no worries there. But also, another thing I wanted to note was that this was like nail biting. Watching these results come in real time was insane because every vote made a big fucking difference.
I bet
awesome.
with 10 choices for all these.
I went to bed the one night, and then woke up and was like, "Holy shit! This is an entirely different roster than the one I woke up with."
I should say, in case anyone didn't see the list or take part in the voting process, there were about like 42 different songs, and you could only vote for a maximum of 10. So that made it an incredibly hard decision. If you didn't take part in the voting process, like it was really intense, and like I had to do a lot of like meta thinking. Like I was like, oh, this song is absolutely going to get in the mix, so I don't actually want to vote for it. I want to prioritize something that may be a little bit more of an underdog song. And I don't know how many people were like that, or they just voted with their gut.
I was just like, I fucking love this song. Garfield, baby, Garfield.
Anyway, so I mainly wanted to just bring that up because I didn't want anyone to think that their song was like, or their pick was like everyone was so equal in like such a like strange way that there was never a clear like, oh, this one is like out or like I don't know. We have a very passionate group, and it's just cool to see that. So I just wanted to comment on that. But then lastly, I'm going to read these off, and they're not in any particular order beyond the winner, beyond the number one top. I will announce that at the end.
There's a prize for the number one top, right?
Yeah, yep. And also, I'll post these and everything, and if anyone wants to see the graph or whatever, I'll definitely post that too. So anyway,
I do have one question before you get started. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So something I didn't realize until after I voted. Like I was voting and I looked at my list after I voted, and I was like, I'm gonna listen to some of these songs again. And then I noticed one of them was like 9 minutes long. So are you going to be doing your own like trimming and queuing and like crossfading or stuff like that for?
Good question.
For a mix?
Yeah,
because that is a considerable chunk on a mixtape. 9 minutes.
It is all of that song.
You wouldn't believe me. Like I was like on the back end, I've been like putting together like little playlists of like the potential winners and stuff to try and like kind of play that out. So I feel pretty confident in most of them that I should be able to mix this, no issue. But at least for and if they're if anyone is if anything requires like a check-in, I'll totally reach out. So
cool.
But anyway, onto the list here. Let's get this. I just had to type it up. Well, actually, I typed it up a while ago. Anyway, so this is number one.
So number 10.
Yeah, whatever. Number 10.
Thank you for the Tisa.
Number 10, we have 3 Zombie Central Earthbound from Wanna Trade Pants. So that's number
a good one.
10, quote unquote. Number quote 9, Halloween Town Kingdom Hearts by the Mickey D. Congratulations, you've made it to the roster. Next up is Promise Silent Hill 2 from Triceratops Jr.
Oh.
On top of that, Don't Cry Jennifer Clock Tower. That was by NP.
Oh, nice.
And then next is Ikana Valley from The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. That was K311.
Thank you for the bits.
Thank you for the bits. Next up was Lavender Town from Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow.
Nice.
That was Rick. Haunted House, Big Boo's Haunt, Super Mario 64.
I think that was a 9-minute YouTube video. I think that was one of
That's
Oh, yeah.
being 9 minutes.
No, I think I'm gonna work with like the rips of the songs that aren't just the loops and stuff too.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. That was by Brixie Mitty. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. I want to say we got Pumpkin Hill. We got Pumpkin Hill.
Pumpkin
Sonic
Hill,
Adventure
baby.
Battle.
Oh yeah.
Vigid. Thank you for that. And then last but not least, and I will tell you actually, I lied.
Oh my
This
god.
was actually a top 10 in descending order. So, everyone that I've stated, and now when I say that, and I'll post the votes and everything, but everything was so close. So like there was just ties for everything. So
Oh, okay.
they're all like they all lined up perfectly. But anyway, so those are all the top 10. But the tiebreaker round that I posted was actually for first place. So
You lied to
that
us.
was between the menu theme for Left 4 Dead and Shadow Temple, The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. And I guess in first place, menu theme Left 4 Dead, Jim Bob.
Hey,
number
Left
1
4
winner.
Dead sweep.
Congratulations, Jim Bob.
Congratulations, Jim.
Great job, Altacia. Sorry, Altacia. Good. You both put in a really good round, and I got to show you that last poll we did for the tiebreaker was also a lot of cry, and surprisingly more split than you'd think. So, thanks for everyone who participated like immensely. This was very fun to put together, and I will get these the info out shortly here. But other than that, I know we have the art contest here that's wrapping up. I think tomorrow night is.
I got it.
Oh wow. Get your art in.
Yeah, so get your art in.
Thank you for the big bits, the Mickey D. Big bits.
So again, also, this doesn't mean that your song might not be on the physical iteration. I just got to kind of again work out what makes logistical sense. But I think we've got a really solid playlist here with these
already.
10,
Yeah,
for sure. So I will be working on that. If anyone has any concerns or questions or whatever, but yeah, thanks again. This has been really fun. So
Can't wait to see
What?
the end result and how it turns out. I'm very excited to just see it become a
Yeah.
reality.
a lot of cool art out there so far, and
Yeah.
can't wait to see some more. Hopefully,
really great submissions, especially for Matrix.
Oh, well, thank you.
it's great. Yeah, it's great.
No, it's been a lot of fun. It's been cool. It's been cool because I know we're working on sort of everything kind of started all at the same time, which is fun in a way, but it's also kind of like it's
Yeah.
a stressful time for folks. So, yeah, I really appreciate all the support and the outreach and everything has been super cool. So, thank you.
Yeah, I'll be sure to work on my. I've had an idea for a while. I just have not had the time
You have a
to put
day.
it together. Yes, I have a day now, so I'll work decently under pressure to get it done. So after all, I did do my song submission at like 1 hour before the final call.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Final hour.
And lastly, I think this isn't even that. I might as well bring it up. I was gonna put just a feedback survey at the end of the whole process, at least for this, and maybe we can do other things too. But I was just thinking just to get some more opinions as to like how we can make it more fun in the future. So,
I mean, for a first go around, I feel like this has hit a lot of keynotes and has been a lot of fun for everyone to get involved in some way. In something.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely been really engaging. So I just wanted to be sure everyone's feeling the same, because it's definitely fun.
It's a great month to do these sorts of things.
Absolutely.
I've been having a lot of fun with the different events.
Check out Inktober.
Even though I'm not fast enough to catch a ghost.
Ghosts are so hard to catch, and everyone's so fast at getting them.
I need to make my own ghost channel. I need to make my own haunted house. I'm the only person that has access.
Pico comes out with like 1,000 ghosts, just be like, no big deal.
Has anybody ever like had any paranormal experiences?
Trying to think of something that would stick out.
I don't know if I'd call it paranormal, as it was like just like I couldn't explain it.
You're right. Kind of how I feel. As far as like true paranormal, it feels like it's been a while.
I'm haunting you right now.
Oh my god! What the
Holy
fuck?
shit! What is that?
It's the ghost of Joey before he had mold.
Oh fuck!
I missed that one.
That Joey was way cooler.
He really was, honestly.
This one sucks.
I don't think I've had any paranormal experience. I feel like I have a friend who I can't. It's been so long since I've told the story, but there was a time that we had like, because I live in a big military town, so we have like a lot of attractions will come through here, like just traveling circus, traveling carnival type events like that. And one of our like Jubilee style events that happens was set up, closed down for the night. He said him and his friends were walking through it's not even enough to be considered a park. It was just Ferris wheel and some small stuff, little carnival rides or whatever. He's walking around there, and he was like, "Oh, my friend like tripped over something." They were walking by one of like one of the vans or the trailers where the people were staying in, and he swears on his. Oh, okay, no. Okay. I remember. He has two really, really scary stories. Okay, so this was one of them where his friend tripped over like a wire or something, and when he falls, or if his friend falls, he shouts out loud like, "Oh, holy shit!" He says something like that, or maybe he says, "Oh fuck," when he trips over his wire, and he hears like. He describes the noise as sounding like a gremlin, like what you think a gremlin if a gremlin was real and talked out loud. It sounded like a gremlin shouted at him from under the steps of one of the trailers and repeated, "Oh fuck," back to him. And him and his friends just fucking like booked it so hard. They were like, "Dude, there was no way it was a person that said that." They were so freaked out. So that's one story. Here's another story. His mom does tarot and palm readings, was doing them out of his house when he was a kid. And he's like, I swear on my life, I was sitting in the living room one day, and you could see the hallway that goes all the way down to the back of his house, like from the living room. And right at the beginning of the hallway is a bathroom, and across the hall was his like brother's room or something. And he's like, I'm sitting in the living room. My mom had done some palm readings during the day, and I swear to God, I saw come out of my brother's room a sheet ghost. Came out and went down the hallway out of my like field of view, but I like watched it come out into the hallway and go down the hall. He's like, I swear to, I've never been more like, I was frozen I was so scared. And like him telling the story, like I gave myself chills again talking about it because him telling me like with this pure fear in his eyes, like I saw a sheet ghost in my house. I like never thought of something that would be scarier than actually seeing it. Could you imagine seeing a fucking sheet ghost in your house? Oh my god, so scary. So that
I don't
happened.
know what I would do. I don't know if I would be scared until like I became scared. You know what I mean? Like, all right, whoever has a fucking sheet on in my house, like,
yeah. So all right,
you got 3 seconds before I'm gonna punch you in the face, please.
take those sunglasses off.
Because like for all you know, it's just some like drunk bro who like thought this was his house. And
Yeah.
he fucking accident and had to break in because the key didn't work. And it turns out it wasn't his fucking house. And now he's somehow in a sheet for no reason.
It's like Metal Gear. This is how I get out. I put the sheet on. He cannot see me.
Well, why did you put the sheet on, dude? I don't know, dude. I'm fucking.
I was cold.
It was cold, dude.
So that I don't think I've never really had anything crazy happen to me. I've had like, not paranormal, but I mean a bullet like flew through our house and like stopped in front of me, like in the blanket that I was under. So that's
Oh my god.
that's scary.
That's crazy.
And then horror movie on vinyl. I have both Suspiria on vinyl. Those are probably my favorite scary soundtracks that I have, especially that new one. Oh my god, that Tom York soundtrack for New Suspiria is magnifique.
Love Tommy Tale.
It's just so good. Unmade, baby. Oh, I love that New Suspiria a lot. I saw that like 3 times in the theaters.
Oh, but the old one's so good too.
And I think I dropped my Sounds of Weed. I think that's the only record I think I've dropped. There, I do have a lot of footage, in my archived Instagram posts of me listening to a bunch of my records on what are the suitcase? Yeah.
Nice.
I have me listening to the that best of Mega Man 1 through 10, the Hot Topic one, the Space Lab.
Yeah.
I've got a video of me listening to that. It's on there. Whoa, VGM early. That was a proto Joey. I've been collecting VGM forever. I just didn't know there was a Facebook group for it.
I think we've all been there.
Yeah.
I have that one with like the Nintendo sleeve.
Yeah. Oh, so the one that I had didn't even have that
picture
sleeve.
disc?
It just came in that clear like vacuum pouch.
Did you have the picture disc version?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool. I said, "Oh shit, yeah, I can have Airman and a Dr. Wily on a disc. Give me right now."
I always gotta wonder. There's like one like brown colored or like brown tainted like Sounds of Wii, and I gotta wonder if that was like a vinyl accident or if that just like came like
rare
from
doo-doo
the
copy.
factory.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I need the doo-doo Sounds of Wii to go with the Pube Zelda and my piss Mario Paint.
You need a little bit of everything.
That's the Triforce. That's the new Triforce.
That's the new trio, the monster trio. Halloween scary.
Yeah.
I need to find original Halloween. That exists, right? That's gotta exist.
I think so.
Soundtrack? Yeah.
I don't think I've
I
ever
think the
seen one.
scariest paranormal thing that I did was I got to go to the catacombs in Sicily.
Ooh.
Oh,
Just
wow.
like tunnels and tunnels of mummified dead people. It's fucking crazy they let you in there and that close to the dead bodies. And you get to the end of it and there's like a baby, like a perfectly like preserved baby.
Oh,
And they're like, the dad found the elixir of youth, of life, and gave it to his baby,
Oh.
and it like backfired because it never aged or some shit like that. We come from like a ghost town out there. My great Nona's job was to dress the dead to eat your last meal with.
Whoa.
Oh wow. Never did anything like that, but Pico, is there like an architecture cemetery in Chicago? I remember there being something like that, right?
Dude, there's huge cemeteries all around Chicago.
Yeah, but like
The
one like
biggest
specifically
cemetery-
for architects.
Oh.
I'm not sure.
I remember going there. I think this is Chicago. I gotta look it up.
I know like Forest Park has like the biggest cemeteries in like all Chicagoland. They're fucking huge. The population of dead people versus alive people is like a staggering number. I need to look it up too. I need to look up the statistic now.
Yeah, it's called Graceland Cemetery in Chicago, and yeah, it's just like it's for architects, so a lot of the tombstones are just like really ornate like architecture, and it's really remarkable. But like they have a lot of like the mausoleums, and I remember that just like there was one like inexplicably open, and so like we walked in and like looked around, and that was about probably not as creepy as going into catacombs, but it felt that same sort of eeriness. Like you shouldn't be in here. They locked these for a reason, but these weren't locked.
Oh.
I went to when I was in St. Louis. I was in the bathroom, and one of the stall doors just swung open. Like, and the thing that like it was like underground. I was underground. It was like underground, like under a layer, and it like swung open. But like you'd have to like push from the inside of the door to get that kind of momentum, I guess. So the fact that I don't know. Needless to say, I washed my hands and I left. So,
fair enough.
I at one point was in like some woods, and there was a very, very small graveyard, and like one of them just said like infant, and it was just like I later learned it was like a private graveyard that was put there, and then like a long time ago, and it just stayed there over time. So everything's still. I make a dumb Pumpkin Hill reference. I go, I'm not gonna let it get to me. I'm just gonna creep, and a bunch of twigs just fell right in front of me. Like, okay. And then, as we're leaving this graveyard, all of us see this stark white deer just run past us and just kind of disappear. And we're like, what the fuck?
Holy shit.
It still sounds so fake to me, but I still remember it. It just... Yeah. What's going on out there?
Who's Spoopy?
Joey, do you remember when we went to that place?
Oh, no.
That giant house?
Oh god, don't even get me started. You talking about that big ass haunted mansion we went to?
Oh, so fucking scary.
That's the scariest thing that's been said tonight.
Alright. I think that signals the end of the podcast.
Typically.
But,
yeah, just end it right now. Just end it.
Well, I was gonna say, can we make a tease for next week? Can we say? Okay, I wasn't sure if we got the okay to do
We
so,
did not, but I'm saying let's just do it.
Fuck it, do it live.
We let's not promise it, but let's say we think we can.
We may have an interview and a deep dive simultaneously next week.
Whoa.
That's huge.
Do we want to tease what it might be about?
It's a horror game.
Yeah, I'm on the edge of my seat.
You are.
For 7 days straight.
Better.
That's what all the listeners are going to be saying next.
Okay. Has a next Tuesday. That's the hint.
No. Let's. Well. What do you think? Should we say what game it is, or is that?
Fuck it.
Is that too much?
It's PT. Yay! We'll see what
still
happens.
Gasping?
So we'll see what we get, what we do, what we find out.
Make
Sounds
sure
like
to
everyone
listen to
should
your
come
PT.
back next week.
Grab your flush bags. Grab your cockroaches.
Grab your cockroaches.
Please, thanks.
Grab your blood stain. Stain your floor.
I ain't gonna let it get to me. I'm just gonna creep.
And then you die.
Here at PT Hill.
Is that what pumpkin stands for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pumpkin time.
Whoa, Pumpkin Time Hill.
Yep.
That's crazy.
That's the one. It is
Alright,
about my new
well.
pony. But yes.
Thanks everyone for listening. Thanks everyone for taking part in the art and music contest. There's still one more day for that art to come in.
Please wish Aramis a
And-
good fishing trip while they are gone.
Yes.
Love you,
we miss
Aramis.
Aramis.
Catch a big scary fish.
Yeah.
I'm
And-
picturing Aramis as a fishing boo from Super Mario World right now. Fishing boo, one of the coolest rare boos.
Yeah. You never really see a fishing boo.
Never will
Okay.
again.
Kind of like a Lakitu in a way.
Oh my
Fishing with the camera.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Crazy.
a lot of fishing in Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should do Mario fish game.
They should.
And
They
what,
will.
once again, we got that promo code for
Yes.
the Ernie Bucks. If you don't know, you hit that little
In
right
the-
arrow button
Mhm.
and hit casino. If you don't have casino access, it'll give you casino access. Then you can enter that promo code in the casino and get money to gamble. So,
Oh, sweet, it worked.
Fun things. So check it
Yeah.
out, and we'll see you next week to talk about some PT.
have a good night, everyone.
Big ass haunted mansion.
Good night. Wait. I actually can't hit the button.
Oh my god. All
Oh,
right,
no.
Wait. This isn't
This-
a bit.
all right. We're
Wait.
still live.
Okay, wait.